It's Friday. What are you planning for the weekend? What are you guys doing?
Okay. Mariah and I, we are on.
Okay, we are doing Ashebi.
Yes.
Yes. So the London Bridge is down, and we've finally decided to Ashebi towards that.
If you don't have this color, go and find it. This is what we are going to. Yes.
Okay, I thought they did the Ankara with the Queen's face on it. Tomorrow I'm hosting an event at the Muson Center.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, really?
Oh, fantastic.
So there's a trade fair, Zenith fair, crafts where Nigerians come. Those people like those in your class showing off their work, and I've been asked to host. And I hope it's not a full day event because I'm partly thinking about
what are you doing this weekend? You did not tell us anything.
Okay, so I just registered to go to a spa.
Ah.
I need it. I'm planning on this. I'm gradually, trying to just do some new things.
Explore.
Live life.
Yes.
So I just
not just walk.
So I saw a spa in the estate. So I'm going to go in there. I booked an appointment for 11 o'clock tomorrow. Do some deep tissue. Relax my muscles. Have some facials. Get my pedicure done.
Wow.
And then go back home.
Me time.
I'm telling you, go back home, relax with the kids, hang out. Nothing major. I just want to rest because yesterday was somebody very important's birthday. Pastor Iwayemi, I believe. Oh, sugar, I can't remember. It was his birthday. It was 50 yesterday. Pastor Shei. I mean, I've always known as Pastor Shei, but he was 50 yesterday. I was supposed to be at the party at Maria's, but I couldn't make it. But happy birthday, sir. Many, many happy returns to you, and I wish you all the best. God bless you. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, move on to our hot topics or our front page review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. PDP crisis, are you not Jibrin? Should resign, says Wike. Charles as King of England, world leaders mourn as Queen Elizabeth II passes on. 7,000 donkey genitals intercepted. 2023, no option to victory, Adamu tells APC members. DSS military items, cash, financial instruments found in Mahmoud's home and office. Over 30 aspirants undergo screening for Allah fame. Let's start with, and there's a man kills 90-year-old father in Kwara.
Yes, let's start with the human interest story.
Let's start with the human interest.
So this 29-year-old Ibrahim Hassan has been paraded by the police in Kwara State for allegedly killing his 90-year-old father. The story was that his daughter Aisha Ibrahim reported him missing, and investigations led to his son, his biological son that he birthed, Ibrahim Hassan, said he took his father to the bank to get his ATM card, and then on his way home, he took him to a building and strangled. He said he injected him with paracetamol and some substances. The man fell dizzy and he strangled his father and took the ATM card and withdrew 59,000 naira. He had also gotten a bike on loan or something, and then he sold the bike, withdrew the 59,000 naira, and ran away. He killed his father for his ATM card.
Don't get it. So there must be more to that story than that, because really, I want to take another human interest story. Just barely a week from the last incidents of collapse that happened in Lagos, another collapse happened in Ibadan. Uncompleted building as well. Sources said that it happened around 5:45 a.m. People were, I don't understand, this is so early in the morning. people were in an uncompleted building and it collapsed. 5 people were immediately taken to the hospital. But later they discovered the number increased to 7 that have been taken to the hospital injured. I can't see any deaths yet. Maybe when they continue excavation, the National Emergency Management Authority and the fire service, Federal Fire Service, were there to respond. Based on the preliminary of what they are seeing right now, they are blaming substandard building materials. And really, this is my industry. We need to learn to do things to standard, because the cost, 18 times saves 9. The one we don't do these things right, what the result is terrible. In Lagos, we had about 7 people died, 5 people died, and then this is 7 injured from a building collapse, uncompleted building.
All right, so the longest-serving British monarch died yesterday at about 6:30 p.m. The Union flag on top of the building was put at half-mast. King Charles and the Queen Consort Camilla had met at the Balmoral yesterday, and expected to return to London, to Buckingham Palace today. Many of our family members went to meet her in Scotland together. She died peacefully in her private home yesterday. It's going to be about 10 days of mourning. On the 10th day, she'll be buried, and they expect that lots of people will come from all over the world for the burial. As I said, she just recently celebrated her 70th year reign, which was where we heard so much about her and her reign, and how she was a peaceful woman, humble, kept her family together, had serious family values, and King Charles would lead the Great Britain in mourning, and the head of states of the 14 Commonwealth realms. So that's the story right now. We'll continue to wait for more information from the.
So I have the DSS story. So the DSS went with a search warrant this time, according to the spokesperson of the service, Peter Afunaya. They went with a valid search warrant to the office of Mamu, that's the negotiator between the bandits and the Kaduna train passengers. And they said, according to them, that they recovered some accoutrements and large amounts of money in different denominations and financial transaction instruments at his office. But the spokesperson for the Herald News, for the Desert Herald, that's his publishing house, said that yes, they came in a well-armed 50 personnel came to search the office. They found nothing. They brought back his 2 wives and still kept his sons, who were also traveling. One, Ibrahim and Faisal, are still with the DSS along with their dad. The DSS says what they have found are deeply incriminating and that he will have his day in court.
Okay, the donkey genitals.
Let me take donkey genitals. So the Nigerian Customs Service intercepted 16 sacks of donkey genitals. They said the importers, first of all, lied that they were cow genitals, but the pungent smell just attracted them to it. They opened the bags, and after investigation, found out that they were donkey genitals. I'm happy.
How do you tell the difference?
No, they would know.
Would know,
it's
right?
their job. They would know. But, you know, I like that they said that they will not allow illegal wildlife trade to thrive.
Why would
donkeys are they wild?
They were being exported to Hong Kong in China.
But maybe that would are not domestic.
They are domestic, but also to get that number of genitals. How many donkeys you would have had?
They breed donkeys some parts of the country.
In Nigeria?
Yes.
Well, obviously, our government does not accept it for them to have that
I didn't think we...
I need clarity on
that many.
I thought it was domestic animals.
Anyway, let's move on to the Punch. Queen Elizabeth's death at 96. World leaders may pay tributes. Britain mourns Charles becomes king. Lagos woman sets ablaze for kidnapping baby and dies. Police hoodlums demolish 50 Lagos buildings. Victims protest. Troops rescue 3 Chibok girls. Arrest terrorist and informant. Nigeria's monkeypox death toll highest in Africa, says WHO. Ferguson threatens 30-day shutdown. Nigeria risks 1.37 trillion naira loss. Military will tackle security challenges. Buhari assures Nigerians for the 110th time. PDP pacifies South with BOT chair. IU stays. Okay.
Our defense headquarters, during the regular briefing of journalists on the activities, especially for the period between August 25th to September 8th, they said that the troops of Operation Haden K were able to arrest a terrorist informant in Asokoro area of the FCT. His name is Mahmouda Usman, also known as Bado, an informant in FCT. An informant for Boko Haram, they say, and for ISWAP. Then another foreign logistics supplier of arms his name is Abacha Bukar, was also arrested. 13 other terrorists have been arrested in Borno State. Then 3 Chibok girls were rescued alongside their children. They are Jinkeyama. She has serial number 3 on the list of the girls that were abducted. At the time, Falma Talawa is number 20, and Asabe Ali were rescued. I just feel I'm happy that they are rescued, but you see how long it took, plus the children. But thank God, and I hope that all the others will be found as well.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view.
Thanks for staying with us. So I'm going to take a human interest story in the Punch. So a lady being tagged as a ritualist, identified simply as Toyin, was rescued by police officers while she was about to be lynched. So what happened was that Toyin had entered a house looking for her own husband, asking, has my husband been here? And when she then realized that there was a baby unattended to, so the baby had maybe little kids around him, not an adult in sight. So she tried to grab that baby to steal the baby. But the little 11-year-old girl or child who was by the baby raised the alarm because this lady was trying to run away with the 8-month-old baby. So she raised the alarm and people came around. They grabbed, they rescued the child and then tried to burn that girl alive. The police obviously came, that's Toyin. They tried to burn her alive. The police came to rescue Toyin from the lynching of the mob. Rushed her to the hospital. Unfortunately, eventually she didn't survive. She died. But it's quite sad. From the burns from the mob. It was really, really sad that this happened. I mean, yes, we understand this could have been averted, but the police tried to help save her life. At least they had the proper. We don't like jungle justice. Nothing justifies jungle justice. But unfortunately, this young lady died.
Okay, so the World Health Organization's regional director for Africa says that Nigeria, the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Central African Republic represent the highest cases of monkeypox, and Nigeria is leading these 3 countries in Africa. And our own NCDC agrees. They said that they tested out of 530 persons. They've confirmed 220 cases of monkeypox in Nigeria. In the same story in the Punch, medical experts are calling for more awareness for monkeypox because nobody in these regions have been given the vaccine.
That story in Punch?
Yes, 50 houses were demolished in the Bejuleki area. There had been a court case ongoing. I hear, according to the papers, the case had been in court since 2008. And in 2018, they got an injunction from the court. It's between the family and the government, and the lawyer took the case to court. They said that since the court had given the family the right to take possession of the land, they had started building on the land, and about a few people have built several houses. Over 50 houses have been built on the land, and they've tried to register the court judgment, but they couldn't register it. They said that a meeting with the commissioner, the permanent secretary for lands, Mr. Bodia Guru, and they said the lawyer said, the family lawyer Ademola Olowo Yeye said he's been frustrating their efforts. He didn't let any of their application process for building go through, even though they have the court judgment, and now they say the houses have been demolished. One person said that he used his entire life savings to build the house. He was trying to move there, that he was going to move there this week because his house rent had expired, and now all he has spent his entire life building has gone. One person has a 72-room building. There are shopping complexes, all demolished with a bulldozer. They said there were hoodlums and police officers, officers of the Lagos State Environment and Special Offences Enforcement Units with hoodlums were the ones that were demolishing the houses with bulldozer. They tried to get information from the Commissioner for Information for Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Motosho, said he's not aware of the incident, but if they give him the court order, he would look into it, and that the people that went to Abidjan did not go for a demolition, but to enforce Land Grabbers Commission law. But the pictures here are showing houses being demolished. So let's look into these things.
Okay, let's move on to the Daily Sun. ASU strike, Nance to resume street protest. Okiwe, Anyak requires insecurity, religious intolerance. Wike kicks as IU survives neck sack. We recovered huge sums of money, incriminating documents in Mahmoud's residence's DSS. Court extends order stopping Buhari NBC from shutting down 53 broadcast stations. Buhari vows to sustain operational tempo on security. 2023 presidency must win for APC, says Adamu. And UBA records strong double-digit growth, declares 20,000 interim dividend.
Okay, so Nance, yes, the National Association of Nigerian Students has elected a new president, Umar Farouk, in Abuja, and he was speaking about, the strike. Of course, as the Nance president, this is his first or primary assignment. He says this strike has lasted too long, and that they are giving 7 days warning to picket the Ministry of Education across the country and start street protests across the country to raise awareness that the federal government must do better with ASU so that the strike will end once and for all.
Okay, so the whole issue, the brouhaha going on in the PDP, we've been following it for a while. So yesterday, the BOT chairman had resigned, hoping that would pacify Governor Wike, because remember, Governor Wike was advocating for Dr. Ayu to step aside. But actually, what happened was that the current BOT chairman, the past BOT chairman, Dubrin, resigned, hoping that would pacify. But unfortunately, Wike said it's Ayu or nothing, that he's not going to move, that what Atiku had promised him was that, let me just read it very clearly. He said that He noted that the current hierarchy of the PDP did not give him room for the interest of the South, particularly when decisions are being taken. According to him, the resignation of BOT chairman is a distraction because PDP's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar told him that the national chairman of the party, Dr. Ayu, must relinquish his position. So now he said if the presidential candidates come from the North, that he would resign. So the point is that the inner workings of PDP, and they're still he's unable to resolve this issue. They thought that maybe yesterday's decision would help, but Governor Wike is insisting that hasn't really changed his mind. He's insisting that Dr. Ayu must go.
Just an update on the suit filed by SERAP and the Nigerian Guild of Editors concerning the federal government's decision and NBC to shut down operations of 53 broadcast stations as a result of the 2.6 billion naira debt that they have. They found the Federal High Court here in Lagos has extended the order of stopping the president and NBC from revoking these licenses until there's so much plenty legal talk, but it's just to extend it and give them time to, listen to both parties before any stance is taken.
So the former chairman of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, Professor Ayam, had given a speech at the. He was giving a speech at the 21st Mike Okonkwo Annual Lecture in Lagos State, and he said many things about the challenges Nigeria is facing. Sort of like his words put it into into proper perspective. He said Nigeria is in the midst of an undeclared war, where the enemy is ill-defined and where the consciousness of a wartime environment is lacking. He also mentioned how we're facing he said there's multi-dimensional challenges that Nigeria is facing. We're facing mismanagement of our diversity. We're facing security challenges, inability to define our national values, and our inability to understand the competitive advantage that we have as a nation. For me, at the end of the day, he said Nigeria needs a miracle. It just feels really weakening when we hear leaders that have a lot of knowledge saying that what we need is a miracle. And then there are many issues listed, and we're still praying and hoping for a miracle. But we need to have more engaging conversations that would tell the leaders that we have the solution. We still have enough time in this administration. It seems like most people have given up on this administration bringing any solution to the problems we're facing.
Let's move on very quickly now to Vanguard. Let's find a story of not taking. Regional government system can't help Nigeria anymore, says Yakasai. 7 feared killed as 4-story building collapses in Ibadan. Insecurity, we have measures to ensure safety of Nigerians, says Buhari. Protesting oil workers demand action against pipeline vandals. DQ, that's Defense Headquarters, confirms killing of over 200 terrorists in Bama Sambisa Forest. Will submit to robust funding of education, says Obi. Warrant execution, large foreign currency military materials recovered from Mahmoud's house, says DSS. Nigeria in state of receivership needs zero miracles, says Anya. I think we just took that story. And Lawan, no going back on report of our monitoring team to Yobe North. Okay, so I found... Okay, go ahead. You want to start?
Okay, our president declared the 12th Nigerian Navy Games open yesterday. It's themed Lagos 2022. I was shocked. I didn't realize he was in town. Usually when he comes, there's like lots of traffic everywhere, but here was just in a particular area. But he was here, and during the event, he talked about the stance of government concerning security and the security challenges. And he said that he was assuring all Nigerians that the security agencies will continue to ensure that appropriate measures are put in place for our safety as Nigerians, and it also encourages us to continue to believe in the capability of the armed forces to safeguard and bring long-lasting peace and stability to the country. But he also emphasized the importance of synergy and working together. That's the armed forces, other security operatives, as well as the general public, because that is the only way we can have sustained peace. And then he went ahead, he commissioned the newly constructed Nigerian Navy Sports Complex, which he commended them for, and says it provides an opportunity for where the Navy can, train, and other people in, and other activities, sporting activities can continue there.
So the oil companies workers of oil companies under the aegis of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasin, have protested in Abuja. Their protest is based on the fact that there is huge crude oil theft. So,
okay, all right.
According to them, 90% of every oil pumped into the pipeline is being stolen. That for every time you pump in 10,000 barrels, you only get 1,000 at the companies, and many of the companies are folding up. So they said they've had conversation to sort of negotiate with the government to see how they can improve the security system, but they haven't done that. And because a lot of Nigerian companies are employing these people, are the threat of losing their liquidity as a company and folding up, which would result in mass loss of jobs, that the Nigeria as a government needs to address the issues Pegasin is raising in terms.
Right, so there was a story I really wanted to take before we run off. First Republic politician and elder statesman Tanko Yakasai was saying something that I thought was really interesting. He was saying that the regional system of government that we're all clamoring for would not work. According to him, this system will allow the resource control per region. And they say that that will not work now because it will not correct the various challenges Nigeria is facing, especially given the current precarious situation that the country is faced with. That wasn't really clear. That was a bit vague. But what he was saying was that those who made us adopt the American system were those the Nigerians who traveled abroad back then and had the American exposure and then made us drop the parliamentary system. He was saying that the system that he thinks that will work with Nigeria is the French system. And because he gave two specific reasons. One is cheaper. And secondly, it's easier to change a government that's not working. So here, the American system makes it so complex to remove a government, while the French system is easier. So I mean, he said a lot of things. It was quite interesting, but this is my first, this is a new perspective. Yeah. The conversation on the revolution of power. Yeah. So I'd like to read up more on this, on the French system, to know what he means. But it was interesting for you to hear a new perspective concerning why he thinks regional governments would not work. That was just all I wanted to say.
We just have our own system.
And we create the one that we want.
Customized to our own setting.
Our own reality.
That is all we can take on the show, on this segment. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back. It might is you that causes it. We'll be right back.
French, American.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
It's not just a party.
Spiritual ginger.
It's where we jaye. It's not just a beat.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC,
London Bridge is down. That's what all saying across the world. Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-serving British monarch, passed on yesterday, and the world is mourning. Since yesterday evening, many have had their conversations on this, their thoughts on it, and they opened their phone lines to hear Nigerians, especially those living abroad, especially in the UK, what your thoughts are on the passing of the British monarch and the new king who will be coronated in the year. And although he's already King Charles, he's already been addressed as King Charles. and the whole thoughts around this entire death, what it means to you, to Africa, to the world, if indeed do you think the essence of the monarch will wane as a result of this passing, or would it increase? Because many were even thinking that maybe Prince Charles will step down for Prince William to become king, but these are different talks or that will still be coming in the next coming weeks. But first, let's just reflect on Queen Elizabeth. We're going to be speaking with the ambassador to the UK, Nigeria, that the ambassador Tunji Ishola will be joining us in a moment. But before we bring him on, I'd like to hear your thoughts. You can call us on the numbers on your screen, 081-270-53687, and send your tweets on TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Let's hear your thoughts on the Queen's passing and what you think or what your expectations are going forward. Mariam, let me come to you first. What were your thoughts when you heard of the Queen's passing?
So my mom is a strong royalist.
Ah.
We think she grew up with them and everything.
I knew them personally.
So when I heard her first and then I called her, I was like, oh, my sincere, sympathy, my condolences. I heard your auntie pass. She was like, which one? I said the Queen. She was like, oh my God, that's a lovely woman. She was a queen and yet a good mother. She was motherly. I was like, oh, how do you know all this, madam? She said that all the magazines she used to read. So, especially of their generation, they have followed, the royal family. They were, the relationship between Nigeria and the UK at that time and with the Queen was much, I feel, much closer than it is now. Right now, a lot of Nigerians are thinking about how they had impacted us, as colonialists more than how they are our big brothers.
Yeah.
But my heart goes out to their family, and it's also beautiful to see how tradition is passed on from one generation to the next. It seems everything is arranged, and there's respect for that. And I would like to see more of that in our own land, where we respect our monarchs and uphold the culture. Yes.
My mother-in-law, she always talks about when the Queen came to Nigeria. She was there. She was one of those little kids that were lined up. And she talks about how, how they were preparing for that, receiving the Queen, and how she had to wear the best shoes. And she sat down there, and she was one of the little girls that were lined up waiting to see the Queen. And she saw the Queen, and she was excited. She still did 1956 or something. And she still remembers. So that was like a life-changing experience that she'll never forget. I'm not even sure she's aware. I have to call her because she's in the kitchen right now and tell her. She has very limited information right now, but I'll probably call her. So how did you find out?
So I was driving back home from the island. There was this traffic, and so I was exiting Oxbourne into the transit that takes you into Third Mainland, and then there's this big billboard that displays news. And I just looked up. One of my fellow students was driving, helping me on the journey, and I looked up and I saw the Queen is dead, and I'm like, the Queen is dead. Let's check our phone. What's happening? What happened to the Queen? And it was a shocker all over social media. Everybody was just talking about how the Queen who wasn't meant to be a queen. This was someone who wasn't born to expect that she would become a queen, ended up becoming a queen because her father's brother abdicated. And so she now had to, and then she lived for years. When they say you're not meant to get something, then you now get it, and you
longest 7.
You were there, obviously, 70 years on the throne. That for me is just a good way to say anything in my life that they say it is not my own, like Queen Elizabeth, I will get it and hold it for the longest. People will turn it into prayer points.
Prayer points, giddy, correct.
You have turned it into a prayer point already.
But one sad part for me was people also, because I was just preparing for this, the conversation was that many people kept saying that one of the longest preparation ever was the preparation of King Charles. That King Charles had been waiting since forever to become a king. And it's a sad time. You'll be saying, sorry for the loss of your mother. Congratulations on becoming a king. It's just somehow, but
let me come to Alaja. Your thoughts on the passing of the Queen. This is a monarch. This is the longest serving monarch. And the fact that of her person. What are your thoughts when you heard the news? What crossed your mind?
Nothing really. So I heard it on my school WhatsApp group, and our usual style is, Mama Charlie don't die. So really, for me, It's just the end of an era, continuation of another era. I would like to see better reflection of the past and the experiences of colonialism in African countries and the countries where Britain ever passed. I hope that, they would really release these countries to do better. Really. Let there be real sovereignty. We don't want the unseen hands over our country. I personally hate the fact that Nigerian presidential aspirants have to do something in Britain at all costs. But then, so that's it for me.
Right. So I was really excited when I saw with the report saying the king and queen consorts.
Yes.
Camilla, that is a hot topic. We leave it on not today, because we're still mourning. But the fact that a side babe, a side chick, has now become the queen consort. Oh, that's a conversation for another day, but we'll cool it for now. Let's move on. So when the queen died, actually, they already noticed that her health was failing. So they called up all her family members. They all came together and they surrounded her. So she died peacefully. And then the mourners, sympathizers echoed, London Bridge is down. Yes. I'm told that our ambassador is on the phone right now because I'd like to speak to him to hear the updates from the UK. Good morning, sir. We have Ambassador Sarafaddeen Tunji Ishola. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Oh, fantastic. Good to have you on the show this morning.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So
Good morning, viewers.
So how did you receive the news of the passing of Queen Elizabeth II? What happened? Where were you when it happened? And how did you receive it? How did the commission receive it?
Just like most people in the world, at exactly 6:30 yesterday evening, the news broke, and I slated a meeting for 7 o'clock, another one at 8 o'clock with the High Commission. So the first reaction is to cancel those 2 meetings, and in addition, I have to tell everyone in the mission to leave because mourning is spontaneous, has to commence immediately. But I must tell you that having seen the Queen appointed the Prime Minister on Tuesday, which is just about 48 hours earlier, the Queen did not give any sign as somebody who will exit the world in the next 48 hours. So it was shock and disbelief. But given the fact that we all belong to God and we will return to God, we have to take it within the context of believers. But I must say that it's also important to emphasize that most righteous people always exit the world in that way, in shock and disbelief, because the Queen, sometimes we call her the Queen of Britain, or the Queen of England, or the Queen of the Commonwealth, but I would say the Queen of the world, because in the last 70 years, I'm not aware of any single individual that has been the promoter of world peace better than the Queen.
Right.
The Queen is not only a promoter of peace, she's also a world citizen because she...
Oh, we can't hear you again. We just lost the audio.
It's back.
That's has really taken on the Queen because she remains a promoter of
all right. Let me
and the framework.
Let me get a few more questions in for you. Go ahead, Mariam.
Yes, so for many Nigerians, we have two factions. We have those who are thinking of what relevance is her passing right now to a Nigerian, living in Nigeria. And the other faction who, recognize and appreciate the long-standing ties that we've had with the UK. And how would that affect the relationship going forward? How would her passing affect the relationship going forward?
Well, like you all know, Britain is a history of over 300 years. So institutions here have been built. The Buckingham Palace, the royal family is an institution. And yes, the departure of the Queen and the enthronement of that king is a radical departure between two personalities. But we built institutions. Those institutions will be able to support King Charles III to continue where the Queen actually stopped. But it is important to say that before the exit of the Queen, a couple of years back, the Queen has delegated a lot of functions around the world. For example, the last Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Kigali, it was King Charles IV that represented the Queen. And I happened to be present in one of his programs, that is a Sustainable Market Initiative, that is bringing more of private sector approach to the art of governance all over the world. I also took time to discuss the issue of the Green Wall project that is working on this desertification in Nigeria. And I'm aware that during COP26, Prince Charles, the now King Charles, was committed to the issue of climate change. And I know that he will also play a prominent role in COP27 in the UK time here.
Okay, go ahead, Thomas.
So I wanted to ask you, sir, about the British system and the UK itself. They have a separate, like the king, the Queen was always of just this ceremonial show. So I'm a bit concerned that there won't be any, it won't affect any policy relationship between Nigeria and the UK, because we feel like the policy is driven by the new Prime Minister. Now, my question to you is, based on your relationship with the UK over the past months that you've been the ambassador, would you say that this period we are having two changes? One, change in Prime Minister. Two, change in the monarchy. Will these changes at the same time affect us in any way in terms of our bilateral relationship? Would we be having to readdress some of our issues?
Well, you know, life itself is a continuum, and just like government is a continuum, even the royal family is also a continuum. What we have in Britain are built institutions. If you notice, on assumption of duty of the Prime Minister on Tuesday, you discover that just at 10 Downing Street, the bureaucrats that welcome the Prime Minister, such that what has only changed is Boris Johnson significantly will still have the bureaucrats and built up institutions that will support that prime ministership under the leadership of any British Prime Minister. That is number one. Number two, don't forget, Britain runs a parliamentary system of government, which is based on party democracy. From Boris Johnson to Liz Truss, it's about conservative government. So nothing will change, no significant change in terms of policy direction. Even in the House of Commons, still about government and their position. So that will not change. And even the British Prime Minister, also a backbencher now. So we are not expecting much of change. And like I told you, before the exit of the Queen, a couple of years back, a lot of this responsibility have been delegated to King Charles III. Although within the tradition of the monarchy is King Charles II will now come with certain proclamations which will have to be put in place by the Buckingham Palace and other British institutions that are associated with the monarchy. But I'm not expecting a significant change. Prince Charles, before now King Charles, has a lot of friends in Nigeria, and has a lot of respect for our president that I know very much. With two occasions I've had cause to interact with him, always ask after the president. And given the fact that this is a long-standing relationship, Nigeria being the most populous country in Africa, the largest economy in Africa, after Brexit, the next game is Africa. And how do you go to Africa without Nigeria?
So,
given the fact that even the international trade now is being the new Secretary of International Trade is Kevin Badenoch. I don't know whether that sent any signal to you.
Ambassador, so on a fairly lighter note, because in our own culture, 96 is the celebration of life. You know, I know the world is mourning, but in our own context, we are supposed to be celebrating somebody who was a great woman. So what's the commission planning? You know, the Ashwebi factors, the parties, the symbolic celebration from the African culture. Do you have anything in mind after the official mourning is over? Is there any plan for the African community to come together to do something big for the Queen's celebration? Because in our culture, it's party time.
Yes, thank you very much. You know, don't forget that the mission in Britain doubles as a mission accreditation to the United Kingdom as well as accreditation to the Commonwealth. So Nigeria will operate under the auspices of those three institutions. One, as a country. Two, as a member of the African Union Group, because we have the African Union Group in the UK here. And thirdly, as a member of Commonwealth. You know, here, emphasis is based on unity purpose. As Nigeria practically has been providing some kind of leadership to the African Union. So we just have to go along with African brothers and sisters, high commissioners and ambassadors, to have it within that context of an African program. And eventually, the Commonwealth. Nigeria plays a significant role in Commonwealth from inception to date. So it will not be more of an individual thing, it will be more of a collective thing within the context of African Union and the Commonwealth.
Okay.
So that was exactly what I was going to ask about the Ashwebi and all of the ceremony that would happen.
All right, so we definitely look forward to after the morning and see, we hear of the cultural display that we're about to see. I mean, so far, the Union flag on the palace was put at half-mast. We saw that already yesterday. We know a lot of things happened already that was already put in place already, knowing that this would happen at some point. So we are seeing that cultural display, and we're all looking forward to when the final funeral starts and how we're going to see, because recently we just experienced the one with the Duke of Edinburgh, and we saw that cultural display, but we know it will be heightened because the Queen herself has passed. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Is there any other message you'd like to tell Nigerians, especially those living abroad, at this moment concerning as we're mourning the Queen?
Yes, let me seize the opportunity to thank many Nigerians who have taken time to send messages of condolence to us in the High Commission on this, and also thank all Nigerians in particular for their love for the Queen, because Nigeria more or less is also thrown into a state of mourning, given the statement of the President that Nigerian history will not be complete without the Commonwealth. Don't forget, this is the Queen that gave us the independence. Without her commitment to our independence, perhaps we'll still have remained a British colony. That in itself is worthy of whatever we talk about. Because, and from Prime Minister till President Muhammadu Buhari, I had the opportunity to interact with all our leaders. She's very concerned about Nigeria. In the course of my engagement, that was not in doubt. So I thank all Nigerians for rising up to mourn the Queen, for the love they have shown her. And I want to assure Nigerians as well that King Charles III will start from there and will strengthen and deepen this relationship. I'm giving that commitment.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, move on to other topics of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Thanks for staying with us. So our hot topic today was as a result of a conversation I had with an old classmate of mine, a secondary school classmate of mine, who I actually told, I told him I was going to tell his story. So we were talking, and he's single, and he's 42, probably like me. And I was wondering, why are you still single? What's your problem? He says, Mariah, that there are lots of his friends that are married that you could tell that they only got married to tick that box. The pressure of you're an adult, you're responsible, just go and marry. So they find a nice, responsible girl, get her pregnant, have a family, and they're done. And then they go out and find or have a side chick somewhere. And it looks at them and feels, I don't want to be like that. why do I have to sign a document I don't believe in? Like many of them have signed this marital document and they don't really believe that for better for worse. He said he had asked his friends, said that if they said that if the day you cheat on your wife, you die, would you get married? And out of 10 friends he asked, only one said yes. So the reality is like a lot of men would never really sign that document if they really wanted to be true and sincere to themselves. They'd rather be allowed to be free agents. So he's with his partner right now, and I'm thinking he doesn't want to make that commitment of signing a document because he feels that, listen, it's just going to complicate this thing. And that's also been re-echoed by YK. YK is like, listen, if we bring in this marriage thing, it might complicate this. Me and my partner, we are good as we are. We have a very civil relationship. So that's the conversation. Why does this seem like some men are getting married just to tick off the box, not because they truthfully want to do it? And those that do it, why do some of them cheat? That's the real conversation I want to have here. What are your thoughts on this analogy? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Although I argue with him, said, people are responsible. You as a person, you decide what you want. We are also women. We get pressures from all over. But we make a decision not to. But he said, Mariah, your hormones are different from ours. You're a woman. You have, God has blessed you in a way that you can control your hormones. Me, I'm a man. It's difficult. I'm thinking, wow. So I just thought to bring this conversation to the table and see what the ladies think about it. You can call us on 081-270-53687. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. Nima, I want to go first on this matter. What are your thoughts on this analogy?
So I also have a younger brother. I've been having this conversation. In fact, not one, two of them. One is Christian, one is Muslim. And I've been having these conversations with them, and they've cited us, their elder sisters' marriages, as the example of why they don't want to be married. Well, one of them says, I see my sisters, I don't want to do what their husbands are doing to them, to anybody's daughter. And the other one said, just one of my sister's marriage just ticked me off, and a lot of infidelity among women that I'm seeing. I don't think that I want to be in that mix, so marriage is not for me. And that particular one is almost 40. So we are worried about him. But the truth is, this idea of an open marriage, like what he's preaching, your friend, is something that is not marriage. So there's nothing, I don't believe there's anything like an open marriage. Marriage is marriage. It's a commitment of two persons to each other for life, if possible, and if not, separate so that you commit to someone else truly and honestly 100%. Every other thing is infidelity, any other thing you call it, whatever they call it now, they give it new terms, new names, a lot of confusions. It's not, the truth. And if the issue about hormones is still wrong, it's still about a mindset and your true understanding of what marriage is. When I wanted to get married, I had said to my dad, I've been chaste all my life. I want to have sex. I'm beginning to feel my body. And I would accept a marriage proposal if I find someone I love. And I found my husband. I accepted. Those were one of the reasons. And I believe that for that reason, I stay committed and true to that person. I learn everything I need to learn from that person. And that's how marriage is supposed to be. I cannot imagine now that, because marriage is not going to be a one straight bed of roses. There'll be highs, there'll be lows, there'll be times and all of that. You take a break, just as you take a break from your trials at work, other things. You take a break, doesn't mean leave your home, so that people don't misquote me. Yeah. You slow things down, evaluate that relationship, talk to that person. Two serious-minded people that, can have that conversation. Recently, I couldn't even talk with my husband over an issue. And I took a break of about a month. I continued chatting with him for that long. Rather than have a verbal conversation, I'm one that hates to write. So imagine me to be typing what I think.
Let me hear Miriam's thoughts on this issue. Like, do our men really tick off the box? Are they truthfully always entering this marriage with a real decision to get married? Or do you think is this just somebody's experience?
I think just people have different experiences with marriage. That's just the truth. And I know that I've heard this conversation where people will point out marriages that have failed, marriages that are going through a rough patch, and say that is the reason why I will not be married, because obviously marriages have their issues. But I've come to realize that in this world, everything has its tough side. You just choose your tough. Single has its tough side, being single, being a bachelor, being a lady that's not married, has its tough side. You decide to choose that tough. If you're married, it has its hard side. You decide if you want to choose that. But also, see, marriage is just a reflection. The way marriages are, it's a reflection of times. There was a time that really marriages were not about love. It wasn't about who you loved or who you did not love. It was just about bringing families together, for economic reasons, things like that. And the expectations from marriage was, okay, what do you bring to the table was even a bigger conversation then. When the woman is coming, what is she bringing? What kind of family is she from? And how would this help this man's family to bring that together? And that is what, and then you have your children. And the benefits of that journey is mostly for economic reasons, social reasons. Then I feel religion also came, and Christianity pushed that message of being faithful to each other. And then you have people trying to decide if that's where you now have the conversation of, well, I'm a man and I have these hormones, but Christianity is almost trying to stifling you. Yeah, it's stifling me, but it is not natural. And then that conversation of, oh, women are different. Women's hormones is not as raging, but I just feel that really it's just the way that we have been brought up. Women have been conditioned to be more careful, be moderate, because the consequences of not doing that is bad. I mean, if you look through history, when a woman would make a mistake in marriage, if she should cheat, some of them had their heads cut off. That was that bad, So over time, women have, stoned to death. And now, when it happens, there's no physical stoning or cutting off your head, but there are words that will be used, and forever you're tainted, your children. So women have learned to protect themselves that way. It does not mean that they do not have the hormones. But I just feel that a man should be married when he is ready and with whom he is ready. And a man should not be made to marry just because he has attained a certain age, because of the other person that he's going to get married to. Except if he's going into that relationship saying, I don't want to get married, and I'm made to get married because it's time. And therefore, the expectations you may have, I'm not willing to give you. If it's not upfront like that, if you're lying to somebody, then it's best for you to stay by yourself, and whoever decides to be in a relationship with you as a non-married partner would understand. And when that person is tired of that relationship, you can move on. But the only problem I'll have is you lie to somebody, get into a relationship, and that person is forever paying for, the fact that you are not bold enough to stick to what you believe.
Let me jump in here, because the other part of this story, which I think is also very interesting, is that the perception or the assumption that a man, like a man's hormones, cannot handle it. And women, our hormones are such that you can manage. I got a message saying that if all women were to leave their husbands after they find out they're cheating, what percentage of women will still be married? So women just have to, just like you said, we have to stay. But is it really true that our hormones are such that we can control it? Because I hear that there are more women cheating today than before. The women, in fact, they're even more discreet about their own escapades than the men. Talk about your thoughts on this.
So, the lens, perception. If you're wearing a red-colored shade, like glasses, if your glasses is red-tinted, everything you look at will look red. Now, if you stare at a yellow thing, red and yellow would give you a different color. So somebody will say, this is yellow. But because you're wearing a red, really nice red sunglasses, what you see will be different. And I feel that's the same way about marriage and relationship. Many people are wearing huge, different layers of bias as their glasses, and they're looking at everyone with that bias. So you are only looking at the negative marriages around you, or you are hearing about those who are in their frustration, sharing that frustration with you. And so you are judging their entire life by their frustrated moments. Then you are talking about, like, my husband doesn't talk about his marriage or food. He always say that, you discuss this kind of thing with your friends. He doesn't discuss so, because it just feels like When you're having some,
it's like the one out of the good.
He doesn't want to share the good. And so I said, like, have this conversation because everybody is assuming every marriage is bad and everybody is suffering. That's not the reality. Of course, it's not like my husband is perfect or we are balling 24/7. But like I'm having the time of my life with my husband. He's my love partner, marriage partner, business partner. We are doing well. So the conversation now is the few people that are talking to your friend are those who are frustrated in their relationship. If he takes, he removes that lens and he talks to the successful ones, he will start telling himself like, "Men, I'm missing a lot."
You know that some men, just because one man is saying, I can't stand just to feel among and not be the odd one out. They will not have paper to your house. They say, me too, man. I have someone on the side. It's a lie, you. They don't have any side person.
You can't talk for them. There was something.
Sometimes they don't.
There was historically. 100-meter race couldn't be completed within, I think, less than a minute or something, and everybody felt it is impossible that no human being can run a 100-meter race and finish it in less than a minute. But guess what? One person broke that record, and in a year after, everybody was breaking the record. What happened? One person did it. Mariah, you said something about sharing marriage, successful marriage stories. And I think that it is so important that we do this because many people in horrible marriages are talking their frustration out. With loudspeaker and making it look like every marriage is not working. Not true. I am surrounded by really happy marriages that go through a few challenges, but they are foundationally good. And I am it's so strange. I hear people saying that, this is not working, this is not working. I'm like, well, this is my friend, she's happy. This one, I know she's happy. That one, is not that they are telling me, I can see that they are enjoying marriage. And I know that they're happy. So your own perspective, you need to listen to people who are not going through pain, or sharing bitterness with you. It's important, and you must also ask. There's something I spoke about in one of my webinars, confirmation bias. When you have a confirmation about something, you will find evidence to confirm what you are believing. And you need to start listening to other things apart from what you believe.
Just opened up the can of worms. That's going to break. When we come back, we'll dig further. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of
Thanks for staying with us. So this conversation is very interesting because there's so many angles to it, because we're trying to get to the crux of why marriage is the way it is, and if indeed men are being compelled to get into this institution because of religion. Let me read a few comments that I have. It says, history shows that men, women, and children had existed and cohabited before religion came. Marriage and religion should be separated. They do not mix well. That's another answer. Does marriage and religion mix well? They should. Why should religion determine the pace of marriage? Isn't it curious that men can reproduce even beyond the age of 70, but the probability of a woman having a child decreases significantly when she's 35? Why didn't the Creator give both genders the same reproductive benefits? So the point is, religion, according to this person, religion has somewhat stifled the natural progression, the natural making of a man and a woman to sow their real soul. So that's the conversation.
So, Morayo,
talk by weight. You don't talk by less somebody
at age. That is a Christian and is married to 3 wives in Benin City, and the 3 wives know themselves and they are okay with it.
Not a Christian, he's a Benima.
He goes to church,
yes,
and he's married to 3 wives, and he told the first one he's going to marry that one, and he is managing his relationship.
Right.
Now the conversation is, if a man feels strongly, and I have a friend who also shares that opinion, that he doesn't feel like he wants to be married to just one woman, and he has already told his father, he's finding a way to form and tell his wife that he wants to marry another wife, and he's a Christian. He feels that he has studied the Bible. Funny enough, about a month ago, I started reading the Bible in a year, and if you read the Genesis and all of that, they were marrying. Abraham married Sarah, and then Sarah brought his house girl that, since I cannot have a child, come and sleep with this one. Isaac too. He brought the first housemaid. He slept with the housemaid.
So it takes me back to the question.
The women had no problem with my husband. Well, I am tired this night, so let my house girl help you in the bedroom. They didn't have any problem with it.
Are we now complicating it by bringing this religious system of man, one wife
conversation thing? If you want another, if you feel like this woman cannot satisfy me, have the conversation with the woman and say, before we get married, I am likely going to have another one. I am likely going to marry another woman. I'm likely going to want to sample other babes. Is it okay? And if it's agreed, there are women that are willing to do it.
You know why that conversation...
Second wife, they want to be third wives. Some women are interested. Let me take this call from
Uzo. Good morning, are you there?
Hello, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I want to contribute to this topic of today.
Yes, please.
Yes, honestly, any man who tells you that he cannot control his sexual hormones is telling a lie. I'm a man. The issue is that because some of us as men, we lack self-control and greed. That is why when we get married, we feel that what our wife has is not enough for us. Basically, the basic biological parts of a woman is the same in every woman. What is it that a man needs in a woman that your wife cannot give you? And if you see a man who has come of age and refuses to get married, that person doesn't want to be responsible. It's as simple as that. A man who exercises self-control, why are we called higher animals? We are not dogs.
Okay.
That is why God created us to be above every other animal. We are supposed to exercise self-control. Honestly. So
thank you very much.
When a man tells you that a man cannot control their sexual hormones,
so self-control, Uzo said, and responsibility, because the perspective of this person I'm speaking with is the fact that we can control ourselves. We as women are naturally, God created us such that to have that self-control. Okay, but the truth is that there are women who are unable to have self-control. Yeah.
He's wrong. So maybe he doesn't know, and I know a lot of men say that they are special beings. They have been given hormones that just go haywire, and women don't. The hormones that God gave them is like this. Women have just learned over time to understand what the consequences are. They have faced the repercussions of making those mistakes, and they have decided, you know, this is the way I can keep it. I mentioned already, in the olden days, they would behead you. A man was not treated in any way if he was found committing adultery or sleeping with a married woman. It was the woman that was punished. So the man would definitely feel, oh, okay, it's fine for me. And the woman, from generation to generation, she has learned. Women are called aside and advise older women to be careful not to be found such a situation. Even though they are not being killed now, but you will bring shame onto yourself, shame onto your generation. So they have learned to hold themselves together from fear. And religion has also come, and people are holding themselves together from the respect of their religion and in respect of their faith. And we have men who are doing that because of their religion. There are men that would say if they were traditionalists, they would have married many wives, but because they are Christians, they would say, yes, they have chosen to be with this one wife. So it's really a matter of choice. I feel that this person is going to look for every reason to justify his stance. So it's not really about the other marriages. It's just that I have decided, I'm talking about this person, I have decided I don't want to get married. Marriage is not something I feel is for me. And I feel that's a conversation we need to have, that some people may not like that marriage institution. They don't think that they will thrive in a marriage. They don't think they will make another person happy in a marriage. And it's fine. Absolutely. That's it.
Let me pause for a second. I have a call from Italy. Buki, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, ma'am.
You're live. Go ahead, please. Welcome to the show. Yes, welcome to the show.
Actually, this topic is very touchy. I got married very late. I got married after 40. And that was not because I didn't have partners who had proposed to me, but I personally was not ready. And I've always told you that marriage is something that you have to be personally ready. First, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. And it's both ways, for the men and for the women. But you know, over here in the Western world, it's different. The challenges we face back home in Nigeria is not what they face back here. And they have what they call convivence. That means both people can decide to live together and is recognized by the state. So it's eventual when one partner maybe dies or they have a dispute and they have a common property or other things together, there is a way they could share it amicably. But in our country or in Africa generally, we don't have such things. Even concerning marriage itself, here you have what they call diviso proprietatis. That is, when you get married, you as a woman or the man can decide to have the properties together, or everyone has their properties differently. So, issue for marriage has to be revisited. But as Christians, we have one factor. Marriage is based on what God says. It should be between a man and a woman. And right now we have different kinds of marriages. A man marrying a man, a woman marrying a woman. But in Nigeria, you don't know what people want. You don't know they have political issues. They want to marry for the benefits, for security, stuff like that. So individually, you have to know what you want.
Exactly. Let me see. Buki touched on something, and I'll come to Nima for this. Because what I heard Buki saying is that where she is, they recognize that instead of you cheating and having all these extra tires around you, let me recognize you and this person are together. You're not married, you don't have to sign that document. You're not forced to sign the document. Both of you can cohabit, and the law can recognize you. Now, the hypocrisy, what this my person is saying, is that why are we forcing us that, okay, is either Muslim or Christian? This is what society is saying, that, okay, you are married as a Christian, Muslim, and this is how you can cohabit. You must not cheat on your wife. This is the law. And you, as a Muslim, you cannot have more than 4 wives. You know, why are we institutionalizing this institution called marriage? What allow it? God has created the man to be, because God has created the woman to be such that after 35 she can't really have children anymore, and she can't really have, the chances are limited. So God has made it. God had his time. So let the nature lead the man, not the institution or the religion that they adhere to.
Well, this topic is a very subjective one, and so you will see that nobody is enforcing gun. They are past it.
Especially if you live in Africa.
It's still largely controlled by choice. Right. But and without religion, there will be no sanctity. Sanctity is that in a marriage, while I'm with you, there's no confusion as to product, interest, choices. I am guarding and protecting. Even in Islam, the Prophet said, guard the two openings, the mouth and the other opening. So guard. And those are your interests, your right too. Without this control, this regulation, now mad also. Mad house everywhere. Him that is talking.
Imagine he's already abroad now.
It's the same thing. The mad house abroad. Who started DNAs? We didn't have to. Africans will just look at their child and say, you come and drink water. We know. But abroad, they had to find scientific method to solve a big problem they had on their hands. Because of this, no rules, no nothing. We need the rules. We cannot go mad. It's true.
Let me take this call. I think I just lost the call. Hassan, are you there? Thanks for calling. Are you there?
I'm here, but
you're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes, we are leaving something out of this. You Christians, you have what you call dating. And we Muslims, we have what you call probation. You see, this is a time for discussion before the real marriage takes place. You see, it's only the time of dating or probation. All of you are free to open to each other. About all this hormone you're talking about, all your doors and don'ts, you are open to that. So before you go into proper marriage, you are abreast with everything. So this issue of hormone or no hormone is a natural thing. Some women cannot do with a man. I know of the woman that told me one-on-one that look, she's not satisfactory with one man. And the same thing with men. Some men cannot do with one woman. And some people told their wives that look, I love you so much. I'm interested in you. I will not allow you to go. But I cannot be with you alone. That is a natural thing. So we should be at the back of our mind that people are created differently. So this is a natural thing. It's not something else.
So at the end of the day, it's about you being responsible. You choose your own path. That's what you want. But I want us to go to the part of women. Because there's this always general assumption that we're saints, you know, we're the mothers, we're the nurturers, we're good people, we take care of the kids, you know, we're just perfect. And there's, you know, lots of women they don't have all these demands, they don't have sexual demands, they don't have needs. You know, they don't have needs, thank you. They don't have needs, you know, they just want you to put them in the house with the kids. They're fine. They don't have any home, their home is not raging.
There's nothing happening there.
So I want us to dispel that, because a lot of men have that perception of women. And sadly, many women are now going outside their institution to find needs outside. Can we address that a bit? Because I think men, if you have this mentality, which this person is having, that women can control themselves. Even when men make pass at them, they can control themselves. We just can't control. Can women really control themselves?
Well, I think women can control themselves. As I mentioned before, fear, faith, and just the personal choice that, you know, I don't want to be that person, has helped women to control themselves. They've seen their mothers do it. They have been preached from. As a child, you hear it all the time. The bad example of the person that did not control herself and the good example of the one that controlled herself. So women, we were conditioned to control ourselves. Men would see examples of the uncle that one, that's your uncle, haha, bad guy, Badowski. You know, after that one, he has gone to Jamaica. There's one in Jamaica. There's one in this country. There's one. So they have been conditioned to think, whoa, we can have fun. So women, but now in 2022, I don't think any man would say that he doubts that women have the same hormones as as men. After all, we are hearing all sorts of numbers that they are calling, although I don't know who sat down and took the statistics, that, oh, more women are cheating than ever before. And for the societies that just allow free reign, we're seeing women who are deciding that they want to be in these open relationships with different men. So it's like, now that I have the opportunity and the freedom to be just like you, look at what I can do with the hormones that God has given me. I can be in several relationships with a man as well. I can have one boyfriend in one town and one person in another town. We've had people abroad, I think it's against the law, bigamy, where you have one family and you have another one. But here it's not. But you have women that have been caught because they have one family, one husband, and have lied about another husband that they have. So women are just the same way. But life has, you know, straightened them out. And men always say, you know, because of my hormones, I like to be with different women. I don't know why they don't recognize the same for the woman. Would they want to be with a woman who says, you know what, because of my hormones, I want to have 3 of you. I'll give you 3 flats. You a flat, A flat. Would the man say, would he take it? It's easier to take it from the other. You know, it's easier to give it. I'm a man. That's how I'm a... But if the woman were to do the same to you, would you? You see, they will sit down and they will start having the conversation of, no, this is not right. This is not how a woman should carry herself.
Let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah,
you're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I just want to make a statement based on what Miriam said. When she said people do not cheat because of religion and tradition, I feel that narrative should be changed. You shouldn't do that because it's not the right thing to do. If we keep telling people because of religion, so if the religion is not there and if the tradition is no longer there, it means, okay, everybody can go ahead and
go crazy
as much as they want. So that's basically
I think we're looking at it from other countries where religion is not really is not a core part of their institutions. So yes, religion is there, but it's more of in the background.
No, so, and I also mentioned, maybe he missed this one, where I said there's fear, there's faith, and there's also just your personal decision to say that is not the sort of person I am. So I mentioned all 3. So you can choose which one, you know, helps shape your life or influences you.
So we have, there's this billionaire. I've been trying to get his name, but I can't. No, billionaire Nigerian that has plenty wives, that married this young 17-year-old or 18-year-old Nedu Nwoko. So Nedu Nwoko is a billionaire, chooses that he cannot marry one, and he marries young women who know that they won't be the only wives, and they voluntarily join that relationship with him. I think that we make this, there's a negative believe that people feel somebody is forcing you into something. Nobody is forcing anyone to get married, and nobody is saying that you have to live by a rule you don't believe in. Actually, that's hypocrisy. If you don't believe in that rule, then have that conversation that, see, oh, this thing we're doing, I don't understand it, I don't believe in it, and I want to change. And open it up. Your wife might be willing to. That's one. Number two, addressing your question of women are controlled. I don't agree with Mariam. Women are not controlled. It's that they don't hear it. We don't see it often. And people code it very well. It is happening. Wella. They used to say lucky babes. Lucky married women. It is assumed. I was so angry with a man. I blocked his number. He finally called me with another number, and I was asking him, why would you think I'm a married woman? Why would you be toasting? Like, why are you toasting me? I'm married. It's obviously not available. And, like, did I do something to make you think I'm that kind of person? I was really, really concerned, only for him to say, now, what's there? What's there? How many married women? He only dates married women. He only dates married women. He said he only dates married women because he knows that they will never get pregnant for him. They will never call him at night. They will never call him when he's on weekends, when he's with his family, because they are also with their family. So he has a pattern of dating married women. And he just saw, talk with my colleague and felt another number. And I didn't understand it. Here is the conversation. Women are doing it just as bad as men, but they are coding it well enough that it's not obvious because they don't rub it in your faces. They don't come and celebrate it the way men will just bring their babe on the dining table. That's the truth. Let's not assume that some women have hormone. Everybody that you see, every woman that is responsible chose to be responsible. Every woman that is responsible chose. We have a choice as to control our hormones. So
that is where we are heading to. That in everybody that you see, there are two things I'd like to bring out here. Every human being, adult you see, made a choice. So if they're in a bad marriage or they're cheating on their spouse, it's because they chose to. And if they are not cheating, it's because they simply chose to. Right. And in the conversation I was saying earlier, that when men are sitting together, some of them actually have fantastic marriages. But to blend in, they come up with this nice story to make it look as if, I beg me, I get one person, one babe like that. Some of them it's true, but some of them haven't been lying because in my own circle, just like you said, I have good men. All my husband's friends are good men. There's no issue of cheating. It wasn't a side gist. He never jabbered somewhere. Like in the gist when they're gisting, they never jabbered. I'm thinking, where are all these men that they say that they cheat?
I want to disagree with Tokwe's analysis of women cheat more. The clean-up baggage does not make women cheat more.
Exactly.
The clean-up baggage.
Okay.
When the infidelity as a product is a woman's business. If it will show, it's a woman's business. My dad used to warn me when I was younger. He would say, as a woman in your life, you are always on your own. If you're single, if you go and do any rubbish, the consequence of it will show on you, and a man can deny it. If you're married and you do any rubbish, the consequence of it will come out on you, and a man, nobody will see it. You have to prove it. But if a woman were stupid enough to carry a pregnancy inside marriage, she go born bastard.
Let me pause you for a second. That's a very profound point. Let me take Peter and I'll come back to you. Peter from Ojodo, are you there?
I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead. Sorry for keeping you. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I just want to clarify. The issue when we come about talking about religion and all that, we should first of all understand that man does not have sense to know a man and woman will have to come together to marry. It was God's idea. So when somebody comes to the different narrative to try to make it look as though religion has made it look so funny, it is even religion that made it in a way that it has to be one man, one woman. Because if you go through the Bible and if you look at the Bible, when we look at Timothy, it talks about a leader that you put in church, a man of one wife, which means they lived in a dispensation where men were married to different women. To inculcate discipline, it should be one man, one woman. So if a man is saying he's not going to marry another, I believe it's a matter of choice. And he surrounds himself with people that are full of negativity in their marriage. There are fantastic marriages that the man can take.
Absolutely.
There are good examples that he can take from. That's just my thing.
Thank you very much, Peter. You were saying
I was saying that if a young girl were to be in secondary school and decide to fall in love with a boy of her class, the consequence of that decision is heavier on her. So women knew it was better, and so women did better. Not that the cheating is still on the men's side. A man will do and he will go free. Nobody will see the side. It's like a snake climbing on the mountain. But if a woman were to climb that mountain,
so imagine the consequence was on the side of the men. They will do better.
You will see them do better. When a man goes and does DNA for his 2 children and find out that none of it was his own, he too is cheating, but the wife's cheating. The weight of it is making him shout, Obiri, Obiri. So women do better. That's the reality, and let's not play it. I wanted to join Peter to say something. When I got married, my husband would come from work every day early. And so one of his colleagues, why are you always excited to go home? And I said, you know I'm married. It's boiling in my house now. And the guy was like, but we married at the same time, and it's not boiling in my own house. Sometimes you make heaven of your small mattress, and somebody else has a mansion, and they make hell. Marriages are different, but what you make of it is different, and it can be anything that you want. So if this person wants a beautiful life and he wants a companion to add and beautify that life, he can have it. But if he thinks that it cannot happen, he will remain. So that's when he's old age in his companion.
Which group are the majority? Married men who cheat or married men who don't cheat? I think it's perception.
Exactly.
There's no data.
Nobody knows. Nobody actually would have the facts of that, the details of that information. We are just assuming based on the ones that are making noise, and we know that negative news travels.
Yes. So the noise, you hear the noise of social media. Hey, that's broken. Hey, they've destroyed. Because, but the ones who have, they say, keep your own.
Yes,
you should
see.
What is it? Your man, they cover
even to protect girls. Not to protect a good marriage, you have to fake that something bad is happening.
God bless you.
In Africa,
just to make you look and see, so you don't make your husband look for that guy.
If your husband buys you new car, so it's not really that nice.
I follow.
Let me pause you for a second. I have to Theo Akatugba because he's a marriage counselor, so he likes to say one or two things. Mr. Theo, are you there? Thanks for joining us.
Our in-house
topic. Yes, sir.
Good.
Let me hear your thoughts. Go ahead, please.
All right. My thoughts are infidelity in marriage has been on from the time immemorial. That is from the very foundation of the creation of God. God Almighty understood that everybody can go out of order. Everybody can remain in order. So he made regulations from time. And between man and woman, he has made separate regulations for their infractions. And these infractions have governed society, including civilized society. And so we are not talking about a certain generation of people. The rules are still the same. But misbehavior continues to grow and increase. It does not stop the fact that infidelity happens. Both sexes, man and woman, have equal propensity to commit wrong. The only way that regulates them are first, the community they live in, the culture and tradition of the people, and then you now elevate it to the kind of religion that is predominant in those communities. But as for infidelity in marriage, it is rampant and getting rampant more today because many women do not draw the line between their singlehood and marriage, or the same thing with men. When you live long as a single person, is it the ceremony that changes your character? Some dated multiple men before they got married. Some boys have multiple women in their lives. So these things have made infidelity more rampant. So regulations by God Almighty and tradition is the only thing.
Mr. Theo, let me pause you for a second because there's a message here which I would like to paraphrase. There's a person here sending me a message saying that that's why, like the Holy Quran is very specific. There's no ambiguity about that because the Bible somewhat doesn't tell you, doesn't give room for you to say, you know what, you're likely to have more than one wife because many Christians or some people are cheating. But the Quran tells you you can have 4 because it understands that you might just need an extra or 2 extra or 3 extra. That's what this person is saying. But he's saying that the Bible doesn't make it one man, one wife.
Only for leaders. The Bible actually did not say everybody should be one man, one wife.
I'm just paraphrasing what this person said. So in your view, do you think, and this is where the guy was saying that, do you think religion somewhat stifled this natural progression of human beings concerning cohabitation?
I don't think so. God Almighty is clear. Even in the Bible, the examples are clear. Unfortunately, Western tradition seems to have played into Christianity. So the standard of the Bible is not ambiguous about whether you should be monogamous or polygamous. In fact, there is no recommended marriage type in Christianity. There is no cap to 4 as the Quran has done. The Bible did not tell a man whether to marry. What we have is an example of Christian fathers with multiple wives, even beyond 10 or 5. And not the time where they criticize for being sinful. In fact, in 1 Timothy chapter 3, you will find that a bishop to have one wife is an evidence that there are men with multiple wives. Otherwise, such a regulation cannot be passed where only one wife is the standard. So I think that Christianity is positive about it. It is the tradition, the culture, the Western tradition that seems to have influenced us largely into monogamy.
We're getting somewhere.
Responsibility is not called upon because self-control is one of the gifts of the Spirit. It's not everything that your body wants that you go after.
Exactly.
The self-control.
All right, thank you very much. I think Mr. Theo has helped us. So the Western culture is really the adoption of the Western culture is what we have done, what we've seen. But this African man is saying, I'm an African man. I don't like the fact that all my friends are cheating on their spouses. Maybe they are real African men, they want multiple, they want 2 or 3. And unfortunately, the religion doesn't allow them to.
And that thing would not hold water because we know people who are married to 4 wives are still cheating on the 4 wives. We know people who marry 4 wives, shift them off, divorce the 4 wives and marry new extra, I mean, over time. Recycling for every time. So it's not about the number of people, it's about self-control. Simple. You cannot keep pointing at different bad marriages to justify.
There's always a repercussion for those kind of people.
The celebrities, our 4 ladies that are Dubai girls, or Money, I think, Ufama McDermott, Chejumbo. And you know when celebrity marriages break, everybody talks about it. But those guys have kept their marriage together for years. They have fun.
And it's not hot topic.
And it's not hot topic. They are happily married. They do the ones they do PDA, the one that does not even show her husband at all, the one that shows. Everybody is doing their own marriage in their own way, but nobody talks about it. It is the 1 person or 2 people that have issues in their marriage. That we amplify. Everybody talks about it. The truth of the matter is we all have a choice as to how we want to live our lives. And there are many people in marriages now that if they divorce and remarry someone that is more appropriate for them, they will be happy. But we are living ourselves in a box. Some can go through counseling and find happiness. There is no one size fits all. But you make a decision. Marriage is for adults. You decide, I'm going to be faithful to this person. I marry this person. Be faithful. If all your friends are cheating, then they have a self-control problem. Yes, they have a self-control problem and they are dishonest people. Because they can easily have a conversation with their spouse and say, you want to eat your cake and have it. You want to keep your homely wife, your beautiful wife that gives you good children, that gives you peace of mind. Then you want to go outside and have one hot babe on one side. Then the one that is very intelligent. It's not that is not the way life is wired.
Let me exhibit that. Mr. Theo, thank you so much for that perspective. I'll let you go at this moment. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you, sir.
I wanted to say they are just Alagbere. I have a friend.
What's Alagbere?
Alagbere is a
philandra.
Yes, philandra. They are just a philandra.
So I have a friend, a man who cheats on his wife visibly in my face every time, and recently had to deal with the fact that she cheated. He did not find it funny at all. Because when he now involved...
How will she cheat though?
Why would she cheat? Why does he cheat? Yeah. When it involved that a child possibly wasn't his own.
Oh my God.
I saw him break down in his most emotional.
Betrayed. He will feel betrayed. Forgetting that he also betrayed though.
Yes. You know, when he betrays, he's a regular.
Except to his hormones.
And I used to say to him that, why can't you do this? He ran to me for a reason, because I was the only one saying to him, this is abnormal, the way you're living. I'd be like, no, that's the thing. You know, the one at home, she knows that she's for the house. She's for the house, she knows that. But you know, that's for the outside, it's just for the young thing. But the day he found out, and she thought she's still guarding a secret, the day that he found out, he was broken. There's a reason religion regulates these things, so that there's sanity. And if you can try to fear God and be religious about these things. In fact,
is cheating a justification for cheating?
No. I'm not saying, no, I didn't justify. I'm saying he couldn't take it. If you put that, I cannot. What you are doing, if you know, you cannot. Why not live by your own rules? If you are a player, Let your wife be a player, all of you.
Let's
because the
play.
Quran says, to the adulterer, the adulteress. So can you take
the
it?
Quran, very
but
specific.
the same adulterers will now go and look for the chaste.
Quran will give you all sorts of examples.
The chaste. They know the rules. Don't scatter it. Let all of us decide.
We have to wrap up. Mariam,
Don't be divided the bench.
To wrap this up, Mariam.
I just want to end with, it's easier to accept polygamy, adultery, cheating when you think you're the one benefiting from it. It's not really about hormones. It's about the fact that I'm the stronger party here. I'm the one benefiting from it. I'm not the vulnerable party, so it's okay. But when, like the story you've just told us, but when it happens and then you're on the other side, then you see exactly how it feels. Because some people will even tell you, women don't care. Women want to, in fact, women want to be 3 in a home. I know this family that they are 4 in the home and they live peacefully. The women are always dancing and laughing. They wear the same dress, and everything. But have you gone to sit down with each person? Every woman wants her man the way every man wants his own woman and doesn't want another person to take from what he believes is his own. So if you have empathy, if you're more open-minded, and if you're honest, and you know that this will cause this person pain, imagine what it will cost you, and then do better.
I would say that for peace to reign is why many people tilted towards being with one person, because it is tough enough to deal with the differences one person brings into marriage than having to deal with the differences that 5 people or 4 people will bring into marriage. So it is for peace, for resolution, and every human being can build the ability to control themselves. And so it is wrong for one gender to assume we don't owe anybody control, and one person has the opportunity over the other. Every man can control himself if they are willing to exert themselves a bit further, and I believe every man should take that opportunity to grow themselves.
10 seconds.
Okay, marriage for me is the way. It ensures sanctity, it ensures that you are sure of your lineage. You don't leave any debt around. And I hope that people start to honor it. It's a solution.
I think before you start cheating, think of your children, especially when you have a family. Because cheating is not about just you satisfying your needs. It's about the repercussions. If this side chick gets pregnant, or something happens, or another man's wife gets pregnant for you, there are different things that could happen. And then it puts your own children in a totally different situation they have never even imagined. So the repercussions of every act you do outside your marriage is huge and could be heavy and be weighty. And so before you start even thinking about it, put them first. That's all we can take and make the right choices. It's all about choice. Everything you make is your choice and as an adult. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye.